Okay, for those of you that know me, know that I am a total caraholic. And I traded a Second Amendment piece of equipment for a 1987 Porsche 924S. Not running. We had to winch it onto a trailer, do a whole bunch of stuff. Got it home. A huge shout out to Elliot Grafton, 944barn.com. Elliot's just been like a brother on stuff that we've done on these Porsches. Just been amazing at every turn, and I can't say enough about him. He's always been a confidant there. But it works out because I got to buy a lot of parts from him now. So started out, continuity check, and everybody says check the DME relay. So they're a common failure issue on the car. So we pulled the DME relay out of the 924S and put it in the 944, boom, fired right up. So we knew the DME relay was good. Then there's a throttle position sensor and a crank sensor that go on the back of the bell housing right there on the flywheel. And one's sitting on the flywheel, one's sitting forward of it towards the engine, which is the throttle position sensor. And they're supposed to be gapped to 0.8 of a millimeter. And the way you do that is with the washer. I was trying to get the gap set on these, but everybody's like, if the gap's not messed up, they're not messed up. Check continuity. How do you do that? Put an ohm meter on them and see if they're putting out between, don't quote me, but 6 and 1400 ohms, I think. And I was at 911 on each one, Porsche 911 on each one. So those were good. So they said, okay, check your connections because there's BD and DG. Big dog goes in the front, DG goes in the rear. They're not labeled and marked. So I tried everything on that. And they said, okay, well, check the continuity on the wiring harness. Check pins 8 and 27 and 25 and 26. With everything plugged in, make sure you've got continuity through the wiring harness, which I did, and then turn the car over on each of those, make sure you're getting around 1 volt, which I did. And then they said, plug it all back in and look, and you're looking for a tach bounce. And I had no tach bounce whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, well, what the hell, this thing's bad. So talk to Elliot, and he goes, hey, the curtains don't match the drapes. I had my pants on, but anyways, so the DME that was in that car was not matched to the airflow meter, the AFM. And he said, you got to change one or the other, but your DME's bad because you're not getting any tach bounce, so start with the DME. He didn't have one, so I bought one off of eBay, and then he yelled at me that I spent way too much money on it and got screwed. It's probably bad. Well, I hooked it up, no tach bounce. I was like, oh God, what the hell's going on? And then I worked all day. So tonight I started to work around the cars and doing some shit. By the way, I got my title fixed and I got the tags for the GTAM, for the Alfa Romeo Giulia. So we're set on that. So that happened. And just, I don't know what I was thinking, but I swapped the BG and the DG. And it drags a little bit, doesn't feel right. Just something feels wrong. And I shot some starter fluid in there and boom, it blew the J-boot off there. And I showed Elliot the video. He goes, check your plug wires. And I did. And they were off in the phase of rotation. I swapped them around, I hopped in the car, boom, 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 and you will hear it fire up. And you'll hear the car fire up. So you're gonna see the sequence of everything for the time I got this vehicle, the time that I got it running. It needs a lot of work, but that's okay because we like working on these things. We have a plan for this car. Could go about 10 different directions, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but just hang on, it's gonna be fun. And here we go, so watch. Don't laugh. This was in the way. I had to pull it out of the way. Is it the gray one? Before I start pulling stuff out, I just want to make sure that it's the gray one. Right there, because that's the first one, second, third, and there's nothing there. There's a red wire or something. As with everything, nothing is easy. I can't get that 6 millimeter off, so I'm gonna have to run and get a 1/4 inch 6 millimeter ratchet connector, probably with a elbow on it, but we'll get it. You can't do more than 1/8 of an inch gap down there. So I've got that guy on. I have got to get that Allen bolt in the top up there, just on the outside of the hole. I've got to get that guy loosened up to get in there, and it's giving me fits. How do you know when you're a shade tree mechanic? When you make your own. I can tell for sure it's a number 6 that I need to get down there on the adjustment head. Problem is, all these kids around, my tools are scattered to the 4 winds, so I don't know that I'm gonna find anything to get in there that's going to be able to reach. And I started looking for my Allens. They are missing. Although that actually might be close to a number 6. By the way, if you look on the front, that is BD, and the one in the back is GD. So BD is big dog. That's a way to remember it. And I see that that's got the sleeve that goes down in it, so that is the 2nd gen. So we'll see if we can get in there and loosen that up a little bit and get this thing set up to set the gap again. I don't do enough of these videos to actually do this, but I have done this before. In this version of today's Will It Turn Over is as the car turns over. We're gonna see if this new DME, which is the appropriate DME for the AFM that's in that car, thank you, Elliot Grafton, actually works. Okay, we got boxes galore and stuff in here we're gonna have to move out of the way. We don't wanna be pushing the exhaust back in. This is our Koshi Extreme Hood box that we're hanging on to because our non-Koshi Extreme Hood, the factory carbon fiber hood, is on the roof here. But give us a sec, let me get in here and get this plugged in. I'm gonna move some stuff forward. I'm just trying to keep that door from swinging over and banging into the Alpha. All right, so there's a metal clip in here. Get that metal clip and pull that guy free. And then this should slide in here. There we go. And snaps into place. So we're gonna do a quick test run on this, and it's gonna be pretty straightforward. And what we wanna do is, instead of just firing this thing up, getting any gas or anything, we are just going to, we are just going to see if we get a tach bounce on this as we start to fire it up. Let's grab the right key. That's the right key. And shit. $300 later in a new DME, and the only tach bounce we get is when we take the key out. Not fun. DME, Deutsches Mechanik. No, I'm just kidding. Electromagneto. No, this is the brain box, basically. The Motronic brain box, or, you know, called the ignition system, or other things by a whole bunch of other words, but for Porsche terms, this is the DME. Let's make sure we don't ding our car here. Let me get in here and get this plugged in. One thing I didn't think about, I just swapped the BG and DG wires in the front of the car. Let's just see if this does anything to the tach. Okay, tell me what you think. Stop. Elliot, it feels like I've got fuel pressure. Don't turn it all the way on, just turn the key to the first detent. Now turn it on. All right, stop. Looks like it's wired right. I'd feel it, is what I'm guessing. Backfire on the J-boot with starter fluid in there, a little bit. I'm gonna try it again and I'll videotape.
That was the battery that time.
I knew these spark plugs. So coil is there, and I have no idea which one is which on here. I don't know even that they're numbered, but looks like 1 is going to here, 2 is going to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yes! Woo! Nice.